is poppin' peeps? It's the former president of the Fat Guy Alliance, the current CEO of Urban Franchise Entertainment. Your hero, your role model, the person you want to be like when you grow up. That Tony, the Urban Franchise, Tony Montana. And peeps, I'm here to hit you guys up with another edition of Throwback Stories. It's kind of crazy 10 years later, I'm doing these videos again, and it kind of progressed. It started off where the first episodes were, but it got to where most of them were. This same computer desk, although like half of it's missing. And I used to have a bunch of stuff here. I'm gonna have to get some stuff to decorate. There's a chair here. Maybe I should have guests in future episodes. So today, I know the theme has been stories from the hood. And all these stories are true stories from the hood. Now, the interesting thing about that is I have a lot of these stories. And the funny thing is I realized today is not all of them were from the quote-unquote my hood era. Some of them happened at points after I had left the hood long behind. I got 3 stories right now, to be exact. Yeah, they were all when I was gone, left that life behind. So, one story happened about 7 or 8 years ago when I was just finishing up in college, and at this point, me and Rusev, my good friend, we were filming regularly. He was being in school with me. He was one of the people I had to hang out with regularly and shoot stuff with. We'd always drink and stuff. And we eventually started going to some of my old stomping grounds. And one night we were going to go chill with an old friend of mine. I don't know whether to call them a friend, an acquaintance, or an ex. No, she definitely does not deserve to be called an ex. But I guess acquaintance, I would say a friend, a former friend. So we're going to her place to drink, and she worked at this bar, and we're at the Markham and Eglinton area. So we're crossing the street. I don't know if it's still there. There used to be a place called Central Pizza. So we're crossing by there because I can't remember where we were going. We were going to get smokes or we were going to get beer. I can't remember what it was. And as we're walking back, no, I think we already had beer. I think we were going to go buy smokes or something. As we're walking back, this lady who, older lady who had too much to drink, and you could tell that she, let's just say liked the party and had been partying for a long time to the point it was kind of starting to show. Ran across the street, asked us for a cigarette. When she saw my Superman jacket behind, this is when it was fresh and new. I'm gonna buy a new one soon. She's like, Superman, yeah, I like it, I dig it, blah, blah, blah. I think she was like an Irish lady or something. And really friendly, and then Rusev, he had the cigarette, so he gave her a cigarette, and she was saying to us, she was gonna ask the guys at the bar for a smoke, but she was too scared to, so that's why she came up here. And she saw us. We seemed like good guys. And then she's like, when I saw Superman, yeah. It's every time she said it, she was like, do the Rusev, he said to her, why are you scared? You have no reason to be scared. You could just go up to talk to people and say anything. Now, he's not really, wasn't really used to this hood. How people react and stuff, and she was like, oh yeah, I have no reason to be scared. She stepped back, said that super bad to me again, then punched Rusev in his face. Like, Rusev is in shock. He's in total shock. He's never been to this hood before, never been around people like this. He's like, where the fuck are you taking me, bro? I can tell that's what you're thinking. And she's like, oh, I don't got nothing to fear. And then after she does it, she turns to me again. She's like, Superman. And I'm just like, yeah. I'm just like, every time I was like, yeah. Because I'm obviously a little drunk at the time. But I don't want her to hit me too. Then she goes, see, I have no reason to, you sure you have no reason to be scared of people? Russo's like, no, you don't. He should have just not said anything. She punched him like 2 more times. And like, the thing is, it was like a nice little drunk party girl, probably been to going to like every kind of party, rave, whatever. Was trying everything. Nice old lady, party lady. Very friendly to this vicious beast. When she was throwing those fists, I was scared. And she was puny. But just every time she hit him, she turned to me and go like, Superman. And I was just, okay, yeah. He just did not know how to react. And I was trying not to laugh. Oh. I was trying so hard not to laugh. But then eventually it's just like, okay. I was like, okay, I think he got the message. And he's like, he freaked out. He's like, yo, what the fuck? The way he reacted, oh my god. He just blew up after. He's like, will you bring me to this place? This bitch is act like this. We went and I actually let him have more shots than me. Hopefully, maybe he doesn't remember that. But I felt bad. Because Russo's a total sweetheart. He's a genuine guy. He's a really nice, good-hearted person. He doesn't think bad things or anything like that. He's just a good guy who wants to go out, have a good time. He likes to dance. Forces me to dance so many places. But yeah, forced me to step up my game. I got a closet full of nice dress codes because of hanging out with this guy. So yeah, that was the first one. Now, next one's really, that one was kind of funny. This one is gonna be a bit dark. Now, this is, how long ago was this? About 16 years ago. Maybe 15. At the time, I had worked at Walmart, and Xbox 360 was quite popular. Halo was a big game. Me and my bro would always be going at it online. I had like my own squad of teams. Like, I was so good online in Halo 3. I would murk everyone. People would like follow me and message me and be like, I became an arrogant jerk, complete arrogant asshole. I'm like, you're garbage. Get off here. I don't be saying talking so much shit, and then people would challenge me to 1v1. And I would completely and totally murk them unmercifully. Because sometimes I would actually be holding back in the rounds. But still destroyed them. I was like a beast in that game. That was like my first like online dominating game. As you guys, I haven't told you guys about what happened to my arm. But for years I was not able to play video games. And a few years before that, I didn't even have the latest consoles. I had like a Super Nintendo forever. I literally had a Super Nintendo forever. I did tell the story of when my mom got me the PS2. But that 360, my bro got it. No, it wasn't the 360. No, 360 is when we played online, because it was the Xbox that I got. Then my bro got a 360, but then he got the upgraded 360 and he gave me his old one. Which I actually traded for a PS3, actually. But we used to go hard on that. And we would have these rounds, and the loser, or we would have our big tournaments. would have to go to Max, which is now Circle K by Mountain Mall. They would have to walk up there and get the munchies. They lost a certain amount of rounds in a row. I think it was like if you lost 5 rounds in a row, which rarely happened because how good me and my brother were. We were kind of competitive. I always had the edge. But he had gotten 5 in a row this time. I think I'd let him win because I just got paid, so I had the money to go to the store to buy snacks. So I had an iPod Shuffle, the original iPod Shuffle that used to clip onto your shirt. So I'm walking into the store, to Circle K or Max as it was known back then, and I see a cruiser cruising up and down. Now this is years separated from my times where I was in my hood years, if you will, and just for some reason seeing the way this cruiser was going up and down, I was like, oh my god, these assholes are gonna harass me. They're gonna come ID me, ask me where I've been, blah, blah, blah. Probably trying to meet their quota or whatever. I don't even know if they really did have a quota. It's just something that we used to say. I'm so far away from that life, and it was never in my own area. Most of the times in those days, I was always on different blocks. Someone taught me when I was younger, you don't piss in your own pool, you don't shit in your own backyard. So that means when you're going to be doing your stupid shit, you don't do it in the area you grew up in. The one thing you have in your area where you grew up in or where you're from, that's home. Everyone in the neighborhood knows you. You go to the people in the shops, they saw you growing up, all the neighbors. You don't want them to have a bad image of you. There's going to be people who does it on their own block and they get that image and they have to put in a lot of work to be seen as that kid, just a regular good kid from the block. I maintain that by doing my stupidness in other places, not in my own area. So, seeing them in my area kind of just threw me off because I didn't regularly see cruisers in my area, in my neighborhood. There was a point where they probably were, but that was at the point where I was not really there that much. So I go into Max and I pick a bunch of snacks now, go in there, and the guy asks me how's my night, and I was like, it kind of sucked, blah, blah, blah. Now I noticed I never asked him how his night was, but the guy seemed really flustered and off. And I'm like, okay, I can't remember what I got. I probably got some sour gummy candy, probably got some sandwiches or something, and some sodas, and some Slim Jims, and I don't know, probably some chips or pretzels. Or actually, no, back then we used to get pork rinds a lot. So I'm walking, I have my bag and listening to my music, just jamming as I'm walking. I have my bag of stuff from Max and just enjoying my music. And anyone who knows, the iPod Shuffle did not have the best battery life. You probably got like 3.5, sometimes 5 hours out of it. So it just died. And right when it died, I hear, put your fucking hands in the... I hear, I said, put your fucking hands in the air. And I turn and I see the cruiser that was going up and down before. And the cop doesn't even have his door open, but he has a gun pointed at me. And I'm just like, okay. I don't know what's going on. The cop is going off, blah, blah, blah. And he's saying, don't fucking move. He's going hardcore, just fucking cussing me out and whatnot. And I'm standing there and I'm just like kind of like very confused because I've encountered cops many times, especially in my previous life in my hood days, quote unquote. But I have never had a cop. I even been arrested and didn't have cops speak this aggressive to me and have this energy towards me. So I just like, I'm kind of thrown off, but I laugh because I was like, yo, I didn't do anything. I know him. And he's getting pissed off. And he's like, where are you coming from? And I was like, I'm coming from Max. Don't you see my bag? And he's like, oh, you mean you just robbed? I said, don't you see the bag of stuff I just bought? He's like, the stuff that you robbed? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like laughing. He's getting pissed off because I'm laughing because like in my mind I've done nothing wrong. I know I'm completely, but this guy is like his eyes wants to kill me, and he has it on me, and he's like shaking, and then the other cop comes and handcuffs me aggressively. Like I had been handcuffed before, but not like this. Definitely not like this time. It was very rough, very aggressive, but I'm like in my head is like, am I on an episode of Punk or something? This like makes no sense. Why are these cops doing this? Now, while it's going on, I actually remember, I click into my head when I was walking towards Max and the cruisers are going up and down. I saw a short, bald, white dude run up to these bushes and put something there. Then he started walking away when the cruiser came by, but then when the cruiser drove by, he ran back and he picked up something and then ran in the other direction. So I was kind of cueing in that maybe something happened in the area, and the cops are insistent that I robbed Max, and I was just like, call them, man. I just bought this shit from there. And it was like, I don't even know if I had a receipt. I probably did have a receipt in the bag. And like the one cop did not take the gun off of me. And just while the other guy went, and he had to go radio in and tell them to call Max. They didn't have the number. They have to call the dispatch and have the dispatch or whatever station call Max, then come back and call them to verify if someone was there. So I was out there with this guy pointing the gun at me. I'm trying to make some jokes. The guy's getting pissed off. He's getting mad because he thinks I'm some kind of criminal. Although, despite the fact of the matter is, the guy that they were looking for was a short, bald, white guy. I'm a 6'2" black guy with an afro. And I'm not skinny. I have a manly size. I have a manly physique. A build. A presence in my physique. Even when I'm out of shape, I have a presence in my physique. So I'm cooperative. His hand is shaking. I'm so concerned. Then finally, the dispatch confirms that someone went to the store. They're like, oh damn, they were very apologetic. And it's just like, it was really weird because the energy I was getting from the officer before when he thought I was a criminal to how he was after, it was like legit sympathy. And he was sincere in his apology. He gave me his bad number, but I ain't no snitch. I ain't going to fucking say anything. Oh, fuck that. I don't even gonna lie. I ain't doing no time for no one. If I had to, I would. Now, especially with this, fuck that. The hood shit is for the youngins, not me. I'm too old to give any time away. Especially now. Life's finally getting good. Yeah, it was just crazy experience. I never told them about the person that I saw because it was just like, if they were really looking for that short, bald, white dude who was scrawny, why would they come to a 6'2" black guy with an afro, you know? And the one thing that's always gone through my mind all these years, if I was not cheap and I had got a proper iPod instead of an iPod Shuffle, my battery wouldn't have died. I would have just kept walking. And he may have pulled that trigger. And I would not be here telling you guys this story. But fortunately, like in many of these stories from the hood, I had a guardian angel that has protected me from many scenarios. And you guys, from the first seasons to some of the stories I'll tell you now, there's a lot of points in my life where it's like, how are you still here? How did you survive that? How is your mental health as good as it is? Because I'm the main character. The main character goes through all kind of crazy things. The main character is so damn interesting that he could fully make episodes just be about his past. That's why. Because I am that. I've been the main character, damn it, and you all know it. That's why you've been following me for 10 years. But yeah, is very something very scary to have thought about that in that moment. Just because of a battery dying, I lived. I'm still here. Maybe I could have lived, but maybe I might be I might have gotten disfigured or paralyzed or some shit. I don't mess around with that shit, you know? It was, okay, I'm going to include one story from the hood. Because I forgot what the other one I was going to tell. There used to be an exotic establishment on Eglinton in McCowan, I believe, or Danforth. And me and my friends used to go there sometimes. To them, they were like, I guess they used to refer to themselves as strip club connoisseurs. They would always make a whole thing. Like one time they made me wear a friggin' suit. There was this place called For Your Eyes Only. I guess celebrities went there. It was like, they made a whole big thing about it. Why do we come here? Sometimes the smaller ones are better than those big ones. Caddy's had its good and off times. So there's this one time we're there, and there was like a group of us there. I can't remember how we all ended up there. But it was like two groups of friends just ended up connecting together there. And then there was this like rich white kid. Well, he said he was rich. I'm guessing he was just like some nerd who came from some area and he's coming to the hood and trying to be cool or something. And he was buying everyone drinks and he's like giving everyone smokes and stuff. And I was just like, I didn't really talk to the kid. I don't know. Just like, you know, when you see someone and you just like, I don't even want anything to do with that person. You can keep your free drinks. I'll go buy my own. I was just always that type. If I got an off vibe from you, I just ain't gonna mess with you. That's just how I am. That's how I still am. Well, this guy, he went into the lap dance room with one of the girls, and at the end of the night, like he disappeared for like an hour. I remember I wasn't hanging out with like some of my friends because they're all around him mooching drinks. I was chilling at this other part of the bar. Then I just came back when I saw that he was gone. I was like, okay, the weird guy's gone. Then I started chilling with them. Then end of the night, we're all outside talking to one of the dancers. It was actually because there was this dancer from Montreal that apparently my friend knew. Like they went to school, or it was like a school crush or something. And she was telling him this whole story, actually, it was Kevin, that guy Kevin, telling him this whole story of how her life fell apart and blah, 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 and she's paying off her school debts and all this stuff. She's only doing this to pay off her school debts. Then at the end of the night, she's asking everyone if they can get her, what do they call it? Nose candy, I guess is the word. I only ever messed with weed, so I didn't know anyone. She's just going around asking people. Then, like, like the dirtiest, ugliest, like nastiest looking drunk dude had some. He just like looked like the sleaziest of the sleazeballs. Oh my God, this guy, he had it. So him and her went into a cab, and the cab driver kicks him out. But apparently they go in there. He allowed her to take some of it, and then she started to perform. What's the word I could say on YouTube? Oral satisfaction on him. Then the cab driver got pissed off and kicked him out of the cab before he could finish. And he was telling us that. And he was just saying that and then saying how the cab driver just wanted to use her for himself or some crap. And then he said how she's always doing that with anyone who had it every time. And then Kevin, he was freaking out. He's like, no! Like, he legit was like, no! He was in total disbelief. But then before we even got a point to him to like fully break down, that quote unquote so-called rich white kid is like pushed out of the bar with his nose all fucked up and blood dripping out. Apparently he went into the lap dance room with the girl, and while she was dancing, I guess he was just talking, and he didn't realize that he had to pay per song. And he did not have the money. Apparently he owed her like, the amount of time he was in there was about $200 or something. And this is like 20 years ago. So $200 was a lot of money. So the and it happened to be a dancer that was dating the bouncer. So the bouncer just beat the shit out of this dude. And the dude just after is like, this is what happened when a rich kid comes to the hood. But, and he was trying to freestyle. He did like the crappiest freestyle. I was just like, in my head, I was just like, well, if you're a rich kid, how did you not have $200? Right? Right? It was probably some dork who was just trying to be cool. Trying to do what I used to do, where, as I told you guys, I never chilled in my own hood. I would always go to different ones. Always. Never piss in my own pool type of thing. I like still being able to go to the stores in the mall in the neighborhood and having some neighbors smile at me when I walk by. Because they remember that little fat kid running around with his Ninja Turtle shirt on. But yeah, peeps, so that was this edition of Throwback Stories from the Hood. The two from out of the hood era, and then I gave you one in the hood era. You guys like these stories? Let me know. Show me some good numbers tonight if you guys like these stories. We will be back. I'll give you guys another episode tomorrow for Thursday. Because this is Wednesday's episode, right? I should have did this a day later, but okay. You'll get 2 episodes in a way, and I'll give you a nice, good, long story. All right, peeps. Well, thank you again for joining me. Stay good, peeps. Stay hood. And keep it blitz.
Audio Jungle.